Hey everyone, it's so good to be a part of this. Thank you to John and to Melinda and to Anna Jane Joyner and everyone that's been a part of putting this amazing call on. I don't know about you guys, I'm super inspired already. I mean, Cory Booker, y'all. I mean, can we believe that Cory Booker was just here a moment ago? Like, I'm still, I love that man, and I love how much he loves this country and how he's always instilling in us a sense of love of each other and reminding us of our love for each other. But also, shout out to all the amazing speakers that are on this call. I can't wait to hear what so many of you have to say. A lot of you I've been following for years. I'm low key a fan of. I wanted to share really quick why I have hope and why Kamala Harris gives me hope. In 2017, I was privileged to do some advocacy, some climate advocacy in Capitol Hill. I went with a bunch of friends that were podcasters, Christian musicians, preachers, influencers, journalists. I was there with Caitlin Beatty, Propaganda the rapper, Mike McCarg from the Liturgist podcast, Jonathan Martin the speaker. It was a bunch of us, and we went to do climate advocacy. And I remember going to Capitol Hill in April 2017. And I don't know if you guys remember what was going on in April 2017. We were 4 months into the Trump presidency. And just that feeling, that depressing feeling that was hanging over the nation, but let alone DC at the time, was really palpable. It was really real. And we would walk through the halls of Congress and go to different office reps, and we go to Senate reps. And the more we kept going, the more exhausted we all became, the more dreary, the more tired we became. It was a long day. We're meeting with heads of staff. I remember getting in a heated discussion with Lindsey Graham's head of staff about climate policy and Obama's Green Climate Fund that was really messy and just feeling like we're not making any headway. Long story short, we walked into the then new Senator Kamala Harris's office. I had voted for Kamala because, she was the obvious choice. I live in California, Los Angeles. She was clearly the choice. Oftentimes it's Democrats against Democrats out here, right? But yeah, she was the choice. But I didn't know a ton about her. I knew very, very little. But I know what I felt when I walked into her office. And what I felt was the inescapable presence of joy. And we didn't even meet her, which is funny. But you could feel this sense in this office that hope was happening. There was something hopeful happening. And we got to meet with the staff. And I remember looking to my friend Prop and Mike, and I just remember, I was like, I think this woman's headed to the White House. I don't know why, just this sense. I was like, she's headed to the White House, and I got to learn everything that I can about her. And that's what I did. And anybody that's been in my life the last 5-6 years have known I have been low-key obsessed with Kamala Harris. I've been reading everything I can, listening to podcasts, books, good, bad, and ugly, because I just felt like that feeling I felt on Capitol Hill that day was priceless. And I knew it was because she had a staff that she poured into, that what she represented was that powerful. And that's what I felt. And so I also then realized I had a shared common ancestry, spiritual ancestry with Kamala Harris, which was really wild. And if you guys haven't read Get the Truth We Hold, it's her book. It's really great. A friend gifted this to me in 2019. And I'll just say this. In the book, she writes about her faith upbringing, which a lot of people don't talk about her being a woman of faith. She says, on Sundays, our mothers would send us off to 23rd Avenue Church of God, piled with other kids in the back, and of Miss Shelton's station wagon. My earliest memories of the teachings of the Bible were of a loving God and a God who asked us to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves and to defend the rights of the poor and the needy. This is where I learned that faith is a verb. I believe we must live our faith and show faith in action. And it's a little just blurb, and she talks about how her and Maya sang in the children's choir. I actually Googled that church and found out that church, 23rd Avenue Church of God, is a part of the same affiliation Church of God that I grew up in, one based out of Anderson, Indiana. Those, it's very evangelical, very Midwest. It's all over the country. But it was just a cool little signifier to me of oftentimes with politicians, we don't treat them as people with moral consciousness because we oftentimes throw our own rage and our own issues at them. But it was good to know that Kamala Harris came from a deep tradition, one that I recognized, one that I felt kindred to, one that gave me that same sense, and also one that gave me a sense of joy. And I recognized that same joy in her that I felt in my youth with the beautiful Black men and women that raised me spiritually. I think that's ultimately what I've been connecting to and sensing. And I think we all can say that when she took the nomination, it was like a breath of fresh air. And I know so many people who weren't even engaged in politics, who really have been checked out, who started texting me and emailing and saying, wait, something's going on. I actually care now. I want to pay attention now. So I'm really excited to be a part of this call and to support Christians for Kamala. Let's do more of these. If I can leave you with one thought moving forward, I believe that it's important for us to move from outrage and clickbait and to trust and partnership, not only with this new campaign, but also this new administration, because I believe it's about to be in a whole administration. And we have an ally in the White House. In Kamala Harris, women have an ally, Black Americans have an ally, LGBT people have an ally, Indian Americans have an ally, climate activists have an ally, Jewish folks have an ally, and yes, I believe even Palestinian folks have an ally in this campaign and also this administration. And how we speak to our allies matter. We don't just throw the kitchen table at our allies. I think we have to get wise about how we protest and when we protest. And I also think when we are building allyships, we're not creating moments of outrage, but we're setting a table for dialogue as if we're welcoming a friend. And I really think we have a friend in this White House in a way that we've never seen before. And I think there's a way that she envisions power that we have yet to even conceptualize. So I'm excited for this ticket, and I'm excited for all of you. Let's donate, 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 and give to this fund. And thank you guys so much for having me.